As you walk around the campus of NC State, you'll notice an abundance of bricks. The very first building on campus, Holiday Hall, was built in 1889 using over 1 million of them. Brick was the preferred construction material as the university grew and built dozens of buildings. In fact, the campus centerpiece is University Plaza and is more commonly referred to as the Brickyard. The structures across NC State's campus actually reflect a purposeful design that is the subject of my speech called Vernacular Architecture. Vernacular architecture differs from traditional architecture because it's uniquely tied to the locality. Francis Zamora describes vernacular architecture as something that is deeply rooted in local materials, reflecting the culture and environment of a specific region. This requires knowledge of the community's resources as well as the techniques that craftsmen and builders have implemented through generations. By focusing on readily available materials and the local identity, vernacular architecture captures what Zamora calls the sense of place. I will highlight how incorporating the vernacular is beneficial to the surrounding community from multiple perspectives: cultural, economic, and sustainability. According to Professor Henry Glassy, the attributes most associated with vernacular construction are tradition and contextualization. More specifically, there is a connection between the structure, environment, and the community. Glassy emphasizes that vernacular architecture is location-driven, with a close relationship between the finished product and its immediate geographic culture. A classic example of this relationship can be found on the campus of Virginia Tech. The material used on the majority of buildings is a native limestone, more commonly referred to as Hokie stone. What drives the connection between the campus architecture and surrounding area is the recognition of a long-standing regional building tradition extending back to the Scotch-Irish settlers in Appalachia who used the native limestone for construction of their homes and barns. Today, the buildings with Hokie stone serve as a unique reminder of the historical roots of the region, acting like an identity marker reflecting the unique characteristics of a community. The use of locally sourced material is also beneficial from an economic standpoint. For instance, in the case of Virginia Tech, the university operates its own local limestone quarry. Similarly, the bricks used on NC State's campuses are manufactured in North Carolina. The accessibility of the building material makes the choice not only practical but financially sound due to concerns about the cost of importing resources. By using readily available construction material, vernacular architecture is capitalizing on an economic incentive. There is less travel between the location of the product and the site of installation, which significantly reduces the use of transportation and associated fuel costs. The economic benefits also extend to the local community of laborers who typically have the experience and expertise to work with the native material, and by extension, the connection with local suppliers and producers keeps money circulating within the region. Vernacular architecture is also hailed as a model of sustainability. By resourcing local material, negative environmental impacts and energy demands are minimized as the proximity between the manufacturer and the construction site requires less fuel consumption, reducing CO2 emissions. There is also increasing interest in vernacular architecture because native materials are often more climate responsive, increasing energy efficiency. An example of this movement is found in an article titled Through the Lens of Vernacular Architecture, where architects in Tucson, Arizona discuss the need to work in communion with the surroundings by using sustainable material such as lavacrete and rammed earth because it requires less energy to cool in the desert. Vernacular architecture underscores the value of thoughtful building. The architect Paul Keskes urges developers to approach new projects with a curiosity about the location. Keskes states that architects should be inspirational and their buildings should speak to the surroundings by reflecting the residue of a place. This counter movement to construct modern construction highlights that even more than the cultural, economic, and sustainability benefits, from a purely aesthetic standpoint, when you see vernacular architecture, the character of the place shines through. The following sources were used for preparation of the speech.